welcome you back to First Energy Stadium here on the left in Cleveland. It's the Bengals in control of the football as we get back into the action in the first quarter. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. On the carry, here's Clement. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Play fake here on first down. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Second down, Dalton. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. This is Clement. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing, Dalton. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal. You did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This will be taken short. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. Second-round pick. This is Joe Mixon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back and has bred this big defensive tackle.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's got some space here. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Here we go.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. This one caught left side by Cooper. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 4 catches, 103 in the yardage department.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
On second down, here's Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out. Worked out well. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
Get some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They'll run with Clement. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, here we go.
2nd down, Mayfield. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, The defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 3-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Dalton. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he slides to avoid the hit. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action now. Dalton lets it fly for Treadwell. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Dalton here from the gun. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it this time. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now Joe Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Set. Green.
Now they try the right side here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So Dalton now. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Dalton sets up play action. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Fighting through. Shrugs off another. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. Second quarter here. He has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, for them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch.
Let's go!
Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? It's a big play there for the Browns. Give him 55 yards on the ground. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a first and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to Mixon, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Three down. Here we go now.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
All right, here we go.
Now Mayfield on third and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had two previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. That's caught by Treadwell. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find the man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. Caught. Eifert over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Dalton, 1st and 10. This will be Klein about the 5. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This will be Dalton again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it's 3rd and short.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And it'll be Dalton again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Laquan Treadwell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point up and good by Suckup, and the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a Bengals score. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He hasn't had his usual star-studded performance so far, but still the 2nd quarter, and they're still up on the scoreboard.
And sometimes even as a decoy, you can have a big impact on the game, and that's what we've seen thus far. They're still able to get it done. They found other ways. They haven't had to utilize him as a top priority just yet, but you know he's waiting and available.
Yeah, now the question is how will they utilize him here? And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Mayfield now on 2nd down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Vontaze Burfict coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL. A busy Week 14. will begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Lamar Jackson with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Jordan Howard, a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes for the veteran Alex Smith. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mayfield to throw it, and he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Cooper's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Mayfield on 1st down. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go now. Green.
Here's a give to Mixon. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
All right, here we go.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
All right, here we go.
A handoff to Mixon. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green, 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. First down, Mayfield. And that's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
What a spin. And now running right through him. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go! Green 39!
Mayfield to throw it this time. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down, Dalton. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. Andy Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Dalton. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Suckup for the extra point. Extra point put through by Suckup, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
A very solid gain of 27. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
All right, here we go.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Okay, some people call it the shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass, but this worked really well. And it's hard to do in the NFL because of the big bodies that tend to clog up the middle of the field. But the execution was excellent there. Able to get it done and get upfield for big yardage.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. He's going to get it running right. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as this Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Now Dalton. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Dalton now to pass. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll run it down out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
So Dalton now. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Got his man. It's Eifert. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. From the left side, it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Oh, it stays up. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Mixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
We got three. Hurry up, here we go.
Mayfield looks to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by George Iloka.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. That was hit, and Dalton lost the football.
Plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Mayfield. And that is incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. So that'll back him up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Dalton here from the gun. That'll be caught by Cobb. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Dalton. And this is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dab. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand...
And he's got room. Space to run past the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people, to power his way forward.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they open the lead up now to 25. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere he looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Here's Dalton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
To throw here, Dalton. And his throw here is incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And it'll be Dalton again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
Let's go! 3-19!
After After the penalty, it's Mixon, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back to Mixon on first down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.